Okay, lesson 57 is finding the least common multiple. So some of this should be a little bit of a review because you've done least common multiple before. So the steps for finding the least common multiple are to first write the prime factorization of both numbers. Remember, that's when we make the number tree and break it down into the smaller numbers. So write the prime factorization of each number. Then you're going to use every factor of the given numbers as a factor of the LCM. So first we're going to take all the pairs. Just like we do with greatest common factor, we find all the pairs and multiply. And this is what's different about least common multiple, is after we take all the pairs and multiply, we are going to take all the leftovers and multiply. So multiply by anything that doesn't have a pair. All leftovers. Whoops. Leftovers. Okay, so let's try this out. If we have 24 and 36, we want to find the least common multiple. So over here I'm going to break down 24 and 36. 24 is 12 and 2, 12 is 6 and 2, 6 is 3 and 2. So the prime factorization of 24 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. 36 is 6 and 6, and 6 is, whoops, I can't write, 2 and 3. So 36 is 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. So now I need everything that is a pair. So first I'm going to take these 2's, and these 3's. So I have 2 times 2 times 3. 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12. Then I need to take all the leftovers. So I've got a 2 and a 3 left over. So 12 times 2 times 3. 12 times 2 is 24. And 24 times 2, or 24 times 3 is 72. So the least common multiple of 36 and 24 is 72. So first we write the prime factorization, which we did right here. We circled the pairs and multiplied. Then we multiplied that answer by all the leftovers. And we got 72 as our least common multiple. Let's try this again. If we've got 3 numbers, then it's going to get a little more complicated. Let's say we've got 11, 12, and 18. Okay, let's break down 11. Well, factors of 11 are 1 and 11, so that's it. Factors of 12 are 2 times 2 times 3. If we break this down over here, 6 times 2, 2 times 3, so we have 2, 2, 3. Then factors of 18, 18 is 6 and 3, 6 is 3 and 2, so it's 2 times 3 times 3. Okay, since we have 3 numbers, we are going to focus on these bottom 2 first because they actually have things in common. So we're going to focus right here first. So here are my pairs. We've got a pair of 2's, we've got a pair of 3's. So we are going to do 2 times 3 and get 6. Now we need to multiply by the leftovers. 2 times 3. 6 times 2 is 12, times 3 is 36. Okay. Then we can go back. We've got everything that from these all the factors from these two numbers are factored in. So far we're at 36. Now we can go up and we can treat 11 like a leftover. Multiply 36 times 11 and we are going to get 396. So the least common multiple of 11, 18, and 12 is 396. Since 11 is prime, that's why we were able to treat it like a leftover, because it didn't have any other factors. Let's try one more example. Let's do this with 35 and 49. 35 breaks down to 5 and 7. 49 is 7 times 7. So 5 times 7 and 7 times 7. So we only have one pair here. So we can write that down. Then we don't need to multiply because there's nothing to multiply by. Now we can look at the leftovers. We've got a 5 and a 7. So we're going to take times 5 times 7. So 5 times 7 is 35. And then if we multiply that by 7 again, we get 245. So the least common multiple is 245. Okay, we've done this with numbers before. That's not really anything new. Let's try this with algebraic expressions. Okay, so finding the least common multiple of an algebraic expression is the same as finding it of two whole numbers. So first you write the expression as a product of prime factors. So we're going to write the prime factorization, and then we're going to match all the pairs and and then multiply by the leftovers. So let's just look at what that looks like. If we have 10a squared c to the fourth, and we have 15a cubed c cubed. Cubed. Okay, so first, prime factors of 10 are 2 times 5. Then, with the letters, all we do is write exactly how many there are exponents. So we're going to put 2 a's and 4 c's. Then, factors of 15 are 3 times 5, and we have 3 a's and 3 c's. So now, we need to take the pairs. We've got a pair of 5s, a pair of a's, another pair of a's, and 1, 2, 3 pairs of c's. So we can have 5a, there's 2, so that's a squared, times c cubed, because there's 3 pairs of c's. Now we're going to multiply by the leftovers. So what's left over is a c, a 2, a 3, and an a. So we're going to multiply by 2 times c times a times 3. So this is combining like terms. 5 times 2 times 3. 5 times 2 is 10, times 3 is 30. A squared times a is a cubed, because we have the exponents. And c cubed times c is c to the fourth, to add the exponents again. And that is all there is to it. You just have to write out each letter, find the pairs, and multiply by the leftovers. Okay, let's try this with three terms. So if I have 6p squared s cubed, 2m squared s squared, and 8m cubed p. Well, 6 is 2 times 3, and we need 2 p's, 3 s's. 2 is just 2, and we need 2 m's and 2 s's. 8 is 2 times 2 times 2, and we need 3 m's and 1 p. So now, we need to find pairs. So this 2 shows up in all 3 numbers. So we can write that down. With the letters, we only need 2. They don't have to be in all three. So we've got 2 S's, 2 S's. We've got 2 M's and 2 M's. We've got a P here and another one down here. Okay, so we can write all of those down. We've got 2 S's, 2 M's, and 1 P. Okay, those are all the things that they share. Now we need the leftovers. We've got 3, 2, and 2. So times 3 times 2 times 2. We've got an extra P, an extra S, and an extra M. Okay, so now we combine like terms. 2 times 3 is 6, times 2 is 12, times 2 is 24. S squared times S is S cubed. M squared times M is M cubed. And P times P is P squared. That is your answer for this one. Okay, if it gives you a binomial, so those are the factors that look like 3x plus 1 and 2x plus 9. If you were supposed to find the least common multiple of 3x plus 1 and 2x plus 9, the least common multiple is when you multiply them together. So you can write 3x plus 1 times 2x plus 9, or you can multiply it out, so it's 6x squared plus 9 times 3 is 27x plus 2x plus 9. So this is 6x squared plus 29x plus 9. Okay, then if you have like an x squared, like 7x squared plus 21x and 6x plus 18. Whoops. 6x plus 18. Okay, this has x squared in it. This one does not. So we are going to factor out the 7x plus 21. So we can take out a 7 from both 7 and 21 and an x from both of those. And we're left with x plus 3. In this one, we can take a 6 out of each of them. So we're left with x plus 3. So now there's something that matches here. This would be our pair. This x plus 3 and x plus 3. So we're going to write x plus 3. And then we multiply by the leftovers, 6 and 7x. So 6 times 7 is 42x. Okay, so that is everything you need for today. We will go over this in class. If you're not getting it right now, don't stress out. You will by the end of the day. If you have any questions, make sure you're asking them, and I will see you there.